and welcome back to the second part of this beautiful tutorial. So guys, now the next thing that I'd like to do is to take care of these operators, and right here I'd like my 0 to be a default 0 in there. So I'm gonna kind of like exit out and close this. Let's come right down here. Very good. So right underneath here, the first thing I'd like to do is to, let's say, clear the display and the internal value. So to do that, this is what I'm going to do right here. See, I'm still within the method for the display. So I'm going to come right down here, just press enter, and I'm going to then create a method in there. So let's say void. I like it to clear. Yep, let's say clear, enter parenthesis, and there. Let's take it down so that you guys can see it. Right, you see this very function that I've just created. I'm going to call that function right in here. There. Okay, now, and underneath I will create another function, and this other function I'll just call that view results, something like that. So let's just call that let's say private void view result. There we go. Now you see the view result that we actually demand the display to be reprinted. That is the whole idea of this view report. But before we go any further, let's take care of this void first. So right there inside the void, the first thing is, you see my digit that I declared right up there, digit 1, I call it digit 1. That will be equals, let's initialize it with 0, and operator op, I'm going to initialize that with 0 as well. Again, then my value text, that will be 0 in there. That will be the 0 that will officially appear on the text box there. Then the variable equals, it was a boolean actually, I'm going to say that one is equals false. There we go. And you see this very function here, I'm going to call that, let's call it to right in here. There we go. So that is taken care of. Now finally, I'm now going to call, let's say jtxt display dot set text, and the text that I want you to set, that is it right here. So that is going to be this very one here. Grab a hold of that, and I'm gonna paste it inside this parenthesis there. And I will just ask you to repaint. There we go. You see, with these lines of code from here up down here, that should officially take care of this one. I want this one to be displayed inside this display here. So let's compile and run it and see to make sure that is working. Run. There we go. Look at it. Look at the 0 in there. Okay, but nothing is still happening yet. As you can see, there's errors everywhere. So exit out. That is good. Okay, I'm going to now, let's go straight away and just handle these digits. So close that, and I'm going to come right underneath here. See, right underneath the method display that I have in here. Okay, so right directly underneath this constructor. So what I'm going to do is, I'm going to first of all, let's create a function in there. I'm going to call that very function, let's say digit, and that digit is going to take in the following. The digit that is taken in, that will be a string character, and let's enter curly braces in there. And let's use an if statement there. We say if value text dot length there, let's say equals 1, and value text dot char, and if that happens to be 0, let's enter an equals there, equals 0, and digit char dot char at, and if that is 0 and is 0 not equals to decimal, we now want the system to do as follows. Oh, there's an and missing here. There. Okay, so in that case we want value text here, this very one, to be equals value text. So bring that down here. Value text, that to be equals value text dot substring. The substring will be 1. Enter 1 in there. Semicolon there. Now another if statement to check the length. So let's say if value text dot length is max length, in that case we now want the value text, let's say equals value text plus the digit itself. There. Let's now look at the result. You see the viewed result here? I'm going to call that inside the void digits there. So come right down here, and there we go. So we're getting somewhere. Save that. Okay, I'm going to create another function in here. So I'm going to call that very function, let's say private void check equals, and the purpose of this function is in case the user click on the equals without any operator. That is the whole reason for this. Okay, the key that will just remain as 0. The 0 will be displayed on the txt display itself. So I'm going to end up by saying if equals is equals true, then we want the following. I'm going to say equals false, equals, that will be false there, and value text, that will be equals 0, equals 0. There we go. So that's taken care of. Now we're going to call this very function inside the digit itself. I'm going to come here, let's make sure the digits check first. So we put that right at the top. That's good. Okay, now let's create one more function, another function that we actually handles that should handle the decimal, or the decimal points. I'm going to copy all of these and just change it around. Come right down here, paste that underneath here, and I'm going to change that to dot. Okay, that is the name of that very function. Get rid of this argument in here, and I will then come right here, instead of digits here, that will officially become a dot. There, that is one. Then the next one is I'm going to take care of all of this, get rid of this, and just let's go for that will officially become dot index, the index of, and if that is, let's say that is a dot and it's not equals -1, yeah, that's correct, then we want it to return there. Okay, now let's put together a function for the operator. So I'm going to come right down here and let's say that's going to be a private anyway because it's going to be used within the program itself. So let's say private void operator, or we can call it operations, and that is then taken as follows. So let's come down here. So for operation, we're going to say if the value length equals 0, it should return something. So let's just copy that. We can copy all of these, grab all of that and paste that in here. So if it equals 0, we want it to return. Then we can then declare some variable in there. Let's say double, and this double will take in digit number 2. That I'm going to call it digit 2. I already have digit 1. Digit 2 equals double dot value of the text. Yeah, that is correct there. And digit 1, that will be equals digit 2 dot double. Alright, so we can then say equals, that will become false, and value text, that will become 0. There we go. Okay, since operator is taken care of, if I run my program, nothing will still happen. Let's just run so that you guys see it. Nothing is happening, as you can see. Okay, but I do have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 operators in there. So those operators, let's put together 5 functions for them. So let's say the very first one is going to be, let's say void, let's say plus, or you can call it add, the choice is yours. There, that's the very first one, and that is going to call this very operator. So I'm going to call it, that is going to be my operator number 1. Okay, and operator number 1 make reference to this very function there. Okay, that is the very first one. I can just copy that, and the next one is going to be minus. For minus, change this to, that will become 2, and this will become minus. So let's just, there, that is operator number 2. Operator number 3, that is going to be maybe multiply. You can just put mod in there, change this one to 3. Okay, and the next one, number 4, that is going to be division. Divide, and just change this one to 4. And finally, I have the next one, that is going to be for mode. So that would be operator number 5, all taken care of. So you can see there's no error, so that's looking good. Okay, all is done. But one thing I notice I have for addition, subtraction, multiplication, and division and modulus. But if let's run my program, I do have, that is the modulus, the plus, the minus, multiplication, division. This is missing. Plus minus is missing. So I'm going to come right down here. Let's come right down here and just enter another one. So we say, let's say void plus minus, I'm going to call it PM, that will be equals the following. So let's say if value text and dot length and that is equals 0, then we want it to return. Okay, and if the plus minus, no, if the value check, let's come down here, if value check dot char out character, that will be 0, and if that is equals as minus dot value text, that will be equals value text dot sub string, and the value in there will be 1. Enter semicolon. Else value text will be equals minus plus value text there. And we will also need to call our view results. There we go. Okay, let's correct this minor error. There's no dot in there, and this should have been value text. That should take care of my plus minus operators. Okay, now that that is done, we now need to take care of the equals. Just copy this, paste it right here, and change this to equals. As function equals. There. Now for the function equals, I'm going to declare a variable that I'm going to call a variable, and its data type is going to be double, and the variable name is answer. Now use an if statement. If the value on the text box dot length, and if that is equals 0, then I want you to return. Then we say double digit, that's digit 2, that will be equals double. We're now converting that dot value of whatever we have on the text box there. Okay, getting there. Now if you guys remember the operator that I created before, so I'm now going to use, you can use the if statement, or you can use switch. I think switch would be more. Let's say we use switch. The choice is yours. You can use if statement though. So let's say switch operator, and come right down here. Say if the case is 1, Remember, they are all in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Remember, there they are. If the case is number one, you and I know that is the addition. So first of all, let's just block this. Okay, if the case is, that should have curly braces in there. I'll move all of this in there. Now, answer is going to take in the following value for me. So let's grab hold of answer. Grab answer, paste answer right in here. And what I then want answer to do is as follows. Check out digit number 1 and digit number 2. So we grab hold of everything we have in here. That will be equals digit 1 and digit 2. So this will be 1 and plus digit number 2. Okay, so we just say dot value here. 2 dot double value there. So that is the very first one taken care of. So the second one, I'm going to copy this. The second one is subtract there. So that is 2, and we subtract this. Now the third one, that is going to be the multiplication, and change that to multiplication. And we then have the fourth one, number 4, that is going to be division, and number 5, that will be modulus. Paste that in here, changes to modulus, and that will just be the percentage sign. All done. Okay, now that that is taken care of, let's just take care of this indentation. Let's move it away. Repeat the same thing for this. Yeah, that's fine. Now we need some default value. Supposing there's any problem, let's have a default condition in here. So just enter default, and that will be answer will default back to 0, and we just block that. Default back to 0 there. So that is my default value in here. While underneath here, I'm now going to say if this text, the value inside the text right underneath here, if that's equals new double, then the answer dot convert that to string, because that only takes in string character. Okay, then view, call view result there, and in that case equals, variable equals, that will become true. And digit will be 0 and operator will be 0. So let's say digit 1 equals 0, and my operator equals 0 as well. So that is it, done. Okay, looking good so far. Now nothing will still work because I still have not created a function for the buttons. Okay, so have a good look at that. That is for your equals. Okay, bring it down. Like I said, you can always use an if statement. So if you want to use an if statement, all you need to do is just to compare. If is 1, do this. Okay, now I'm very happy with this. I'm almost finished. Okay, then let's see, there's no error, everything is fine. Alright, so that is that all done. So have a good look at this, at the lines of codes. There we go. And this is where I have all my buttons. I might as well create it right underneath here. But I'm going to get rid of this because I only use it to prevent the error. So if I comment it out, look at what's going to happen. I will end up with an error here. Okay, I end up with an error there. You don't really need it. So we're going to get rid of that. Now let's start by creating a public. That would be a public void action, action performed, and the action is going to be the following event. So let's just say action events, and that is going to, I've just called that event there. Okay, now I'm going to create an object in here. Let's say object that is going to be called object as well, and that is going to be equals events dot get the source. There we go. Now the very first one we want to have a look at, that will be the clear. I'm just going to use an if statement there. If my object is equals BC. Remember BC, that is my clear button. Enter. Curly braces there. Display itself is going to be dot clear. The next one is going to be my button CE. Paste. I'm just going to change this one to CE. Okay, I haven't written any function for this, so I'm going to leave it like that. So the next one, I'm going to go for decimal. Change this to decimal. There we go. That will be B decimal. Yeah. And for the B decimal, the function written for that is dot. I've just called that as well. Now let's call add. So come right down here, paste, and I'm gonna change this one to, I think I call it add, and the function I think is known as add as well. Dot. Is it add? No, I think I call it plus. Yeah, that's correct. Okay, that's fine. Now multiplication. Come right down here and change this to multiplication. So that is minus, and this is called minus. Remember this one. There we go. Paste. Multiply. Yep. Yeah, that is correct. And this one I just call it MUL. What else? I have division. Paste. This is button division, and the function is also known as div. I then have PM. I think the function is called PM as well. No, just PM. Yeah, no error, that's fine. Okay, so let's take care of modulus. So this is called, the button is BMOD, and the function is just called modulus. So I'm going to come in here, enter modulus. Now the other function that I want to call will be that of equals. I think that was one of the last I put together, equals, and the function is called equals. Very good. Now equals is taken care of. Let's take care of the numbers first. That is 0, and the digits, that's the digit actually, dot digit, and this digit will be 0. Let's put that in a quote. 0, that's the very first one. I'm just going to copy that now. Then we have 1. Let's say 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay, this is 9. And change this to 9. 8. Change this to 8. 7. And 7 here. We have 6. Button 6. Button 5. 5. We have 4. Button 4. Button 3. And B3. Then we have 2. 2 here. 1. And 1. There we go. All the functions for the numbers are all taken care of as well. That is fine. Okay, I think that is all, guys. I'm now going to run it, but before I do that, let me just show you guys the codes. Take it right from the top. Okay, you need the following, and we then create the following. So just have a good look at it. Bring it down and down. You need to be able to see all of these. That is for the buttons. Maybe let's break it into 2 so that you can see it properly. Yep. Okay, bring it down. Yeah, those are for the buttons. Okay, let's have a good look. You can always pause it to have a good look at it. And those are the last functions that I put together for the buttons on the frame itself. There we go. And now the function that is doing all the work underneath. Okay, that is fine. There we go. That is the equals, and that is all there is to it, guys. Please do subscribe to this channel, please. If I can get 1 million subscribers, that would be great. Okay, guys, So I'm going to try it out. It's decision time now. Let's just see what we've done so far. And this, let's just indent it. It looks very horrible the way it looks. Get it indented. Yeah, that's more like it. Okay then, compile and run. Click on run. There we go. That is my calculator there. Bring this to the center here and we can just whatever. 23 multiplied by 8, I guess is right, and plus minus. Multiply that because you owe 184. Multiply that by 2. Let's see what's gonna happen. Should give it what, 300 plus? Yeah, clear. Now 9 plus, no, let's just clear that. Let's say 9 plus 5 minus 7 multiply by 12. There, clear. Is it 25? Multiply by 8. There. And that is how you create your own calculator in Java using applets. So with that, guys, I'm going to call it the end of this tutorial. I suppose you guys enjoyed it. Mine seems to be long. It's because it is designed for beginners so that you're able to follow through. And channel members, you know what to do. So I'm going to say bye for now. And please do subscribe to this channel. For your information, there's a lot of benefit if you are a channel member. Have a nice day, guys.